Oh, and mine 10 jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess. And you guys remember that Dare Tiger from middle school? Boy, I let that guy down. If you're not old enough, look that up. But do me a favor and hit that like button or nothing of consequence will happen. And we just did a live stream and we went in on the Snake Eye Tactical Valentine's Day knife. So let's take a look at what we're holding because it'll bother you if I don't, and you know I love you. So first things first, and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. The pocket clip says love. We have got our steel scales on steel liners, and we got a flipper tab, so let's flick the bean. Little under 3 inches of 440 stainless steel. And I mean, just look at it. All right, you got the hearts, and the word I was looking for last video was like silicone. This feels more like silicone than a harder plastic. We got a little rhinestone here. We got the roses, the heart cutouts on the blade, and the flipper tab. It's the Valentine's Day knife, and we had to do our Valentine's Day live stream. Now, I do check out stuff like this from time to time. One, because I find it super entertaining. Two, I think you guys will find it entertaining just to look at some of this trash and see whether or not there's any redeeming qualities. And of course, it's thematically appropriate for the week we just had. Last night, it was Valentine's Day. We got to do a live stream on Valentine's Day with this beauty. So, you know, and I enjoyed carrying it for the week I had it. No major complaints there. I loved showing it off at work. I love showing the guys at work because they either said, this is nice as hell or this is funny as hell. Same thing with the live stream. New people came in. There was a whole lot of, damn, that thing's nice. I had to explain it's gas station trash, but it's funny trash. And, you know, like, it's just, look at it. Some of this stuff is just fun to screw around with. So, we had the 440 stainless on here, and I don't remember the last time I have done regular 440. I've done some 440C that I remember doing all right, but I don't remember doing regular 440 stainless. So I went in with no real expectations. I was hoping for maybe a little bit better than 3CR13, but we didn't really get that. I mean, it fought the good fight. It tried. You know, I've got the results written down here. So on the edge sharpness tester that I'll show you in just a little while here, we started off at a 269. Now, a lot of our factory edges have been coming in at the 250s from places like Kaiser, Civivi, just a lot of the nicer knives that I've been buying have around 250s on the factory edge. So that's not a terrible number. But we went for 1 hour. And by the way, we measured the amount of time spent cutting. That's a 4 to 7 inch cut every second or so, because counting that many cuts is catastrophically unmanageable, and we still get consistent, repeatable results. You know, we get a lot of good data from this, especially like how steels compare to each other. We've done so much D2, we can tell you exactly how it's going to wear out and how long it's going to take to hit each stage of it wearing out. Like, it's reliable. It's good enough for the girls I've gone out with. So now that disclaimer's out of the way, because comments will come in about it, you know, we spent that hour, again, 4 to 7 inches every second or so, and we hit a bad snag. It started cutting like garbage. So, you know, I cut paper and I marked where the snag was, you know, and I marked the snag off so we could test the worst spot of the blade. And we took 3 samples off of that. We found a 517, a 459, and then we found the 589, the troublemaker. When you start getting to 600 or a little bit over, that's a devastated edge. It's no longer going to cut cardboard well. You might be able to get it to push cut through paper if you do it just right, but the edge is shot. All right, your 140s or so are around double-edged razor territory. You know, it's like 600 is in need of maintenance. That is a torn-up edge. So we sharpened it, and so, you know, we went through, and I've got the new resin-bonded stones from WorkSharp for the Precision Adjust Professional. And I got the 1200, 2000, and 3000 grit resin bonded stones, so I had a lot of fun playing with those. I did work on fixing some of the things that I've been struggling with. I will say, if you have a Precision Adjust Professional, I don't care how small the knife is, put the little block under the clamp that locks it in place. That made it so much easier to sharpen and get the edge that I wanted faster. It made it so much faster and easier to get this bevel taken care of. Something I learned, I didn't think it would make that big of a difference, but it turns out it does. And it's, again, I'm learning as I go. I'm no expert. I'm kind of playing with these toys. I'm figuring out how to use them as I go. So we hit that 229. And an hour or two later, I discovered something else that I needed to fix, and I will explain that in a second. But, we got that 229. So it's better than it was when we started. Not what I hoped for, but better. We ran for an hour, and we took 3 more samples of the worst section, and we hit a 443, then we hit a 557, and then we hit a 620. Totally devastated. So we pulled this thing off and we sharpened it again. Now, I was incredibly happy to find something that could be sharpened. Last week we had that Ozark Trail that would not sharpen, and we also had the Camillus Wedge that would not sharpen. That shaved about 15 minutes off the end of my life dealing with those two, so this thing being able to be sharpened, oh my god, it felt so good. I don't care that it's 440 stainless, it felt so good that I could sharpen something. So we went through and I spent extra time with it. I worked on it some more with the stones. I spent more time at the finer grits trying to get that edge down a little bit. And we got it down to a 171. That's pretty decent. And that's when I realized the strops I'm working with, I have got cutting lace EDC's diamond emulsion to strop with. Okay, that stuff is amazing. All right, I used that and it still didn't feel right. So then I was like, and I'm still learning how to use the emulsion. It's new to me. It is a new experience. I'm used to diamond paste that takes forever to wear off of the strops. You don't got to reload it for a long time. Diamond emulsion's a different beast. I realized that the strops weren't really feeling right, so I gave them a spritz on the 1 micron and the 0.1 micron. Actually, I went through 9, 5, 1, and 0.1. I gave all of them a fresh strop. I stropped fresh from there, and we brought it down to a 131 at the spot we tested. That 131 is a fantastic number, and the number still seems a little high for the kind of cuts we're getting. I tested a little bit later, and I pulled a higher number than that, but, when I've been doing a lot of my testing, printer paper and the newspaper print stuff from the flyers that I have, both cut way easier than notebook paper does for a straight, clean cut. But, this thing, the edge is quite happy. That is kind of hard to do. And like y'all saw that curly Q come up, these things are a little bit harder to get. I've been getting finer ones as I've been playing with this. But, at the end of the day, for it to be doing this smooth of a cut on notebook paper, like you can see the notebook paper's fighting. It does not want to get cut. It just does not want to cut. But even doing that with the cut being interrupted, like that's still, man. You can tell I'm tired too. You can tell I'm tired. Like I did the live stream, blew my voice out. I'm having a hard time speaking clearly now, but that's besides the besides. You see how much sharper it is than like the 130s. That feels like an edge that's more like 110, 115, somewhere in that window. Yeah, we're shaving real easy here. We're doing a good job shaving. So, the edge is nice and tidy. Now, let's get the edge sharpness tester out that you guys kindly provided through your channel memberships, your super chat donations, what have you. Thank you for that. I will say thank you every time I remember to. I got to. So let's get a test clip out. I'll show you how this bad boy works. We'll take 2 samples. We'll test 2 areas, and I'll show you there's going to be some variation in the number. But it measures the number of grams of force it takes to cut through the wire on this calibrated test clip. Now, what this means is you're testing an area that's no wider than the wire is thick. So as you go along the length of the blade, those numbers will shift around a little bit. So that 131, we probably hit like the best possible spot we could on there. But, we'll get one up towards the belly where the primary cutting always happens. So we got a 143. So that's still a really good number. The 140s are a great number. Higher HRC steels, I've been consistently getting into the 120s with worse stropping compounds. So I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to doing a higher HRC with the diamond emulsion, which I will link off to Cutting Lace EDC's shop on Blade Binge for her diamond emulsion. It's not an affiliate link. However, she is a friend of the channel, and I do believe in supporting a small business. And as a friend of the channel and a small business, well, there you go. The most awkward under a camera handshake you've seen in your entire life. I am so disjointed right now. But let's test a different area. Let's test farther back towards the heel. 170. So, see, like the numbers will vary a little bit, and of course, we were dealing with a very uneven bevel from the factory. The secondary bevel along here, it was uneven as all get out. I had to hog off a lot of material to get past the low spots, and up here at the tip, there's still a couple of low spots that I couldn't get out 100% of the way, but you might be able to tell at the tip, the bevel is a bit wider than it is along the rest of the edge. And on this side, there's a low spot here. Let's see. You can see it right here where it's not shining the way the rest of it is. There was too much material to hog off for me to keep going without walking this bevel back way too far on a $15 knife. So, like, the bevel was uneven as all get out, and it fought me trying to get those low spots out, and I didn't get all of them. So, like, starting off there, it was a fight. It was a fight. But we got there. And I am taking what I learned tonight going forward into sharpening other knives and getting better edges. I played around with some D2 tonight, and I got some good numbers on that. So I'm looking forward to the next knife that we do and getting even better sharpening on it. But, we're focused on this one right now. So you guys know I love sharing with you what happened during Cardboard Slayer. That is what happened during the session with this guy right here. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. Y'all keep coming in. I appreciate you so, so much. We hit 5K. We hit 5K subscribers. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We got our live streams, regular videos. There's plenty of activities. Comments, I love some feedback. Let me know what you think about this or your experience with the 440 stainless yourself. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.